So namaste everybody. Welcome to this session of webinar in the Upanishads project. As all of us know, the theme we have chosen for this session is insights into management values in Ishavasya Upanishad. Actually, in a whole lot of Upanishads, we can draw valuable insights into management. Recently we coined in fact an expression, dhimahi. Many of you know this word, dhimahi. It is part of Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. The literal meaning of dhimahi is we meditate, dhyayema. But this dhimahi, if you put it in English, that is you spell it in English alphabets, dhimahi, could be expanded in a new way, deriving holistic insights into management from heritage of India. dhimahi, think of it. Deriving holistic insights into management from heritage of India. And this heritage of India is vast, unbelievably vast. However, we in these webinars are trying to focus on the Upanishads, which are considered very lofty portions of our sacred literature. Ishavasya Upanishad, with just 18 mantras, has plenty of food for thought. I must hasten to correct myself. Upanishads in fact are not just food for thought, but they are in fact meant to go beyond thought. They are meant to break the barriers or confines of thought. Thought being a phenomenon, thought being a process, thought being a certain field, and we can go beyond the field of thought. So, in Ishavasya Upanishad, just 18 mantras, agreed, and most of you know, we have the famous Shanti mantra, peace invocation, in Ishavasya Upanishad. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. The whole is the reality. The whole alone is this, the whole alone is that, and when you take the whole from the whole again remains. Another translation is, when we add the whole to the whole, what remains again is the whole. Let's start with this. Management gurus talk about a certain desirable value or attitude in leaders and managers and so on, executives and so on. Stephen Covey, for example, calls this attitude the abundance mentality. Many a time, whether it's corporate management or some domestic scenario in a family, one member is causing problem to everybody, acting out of unnecessary insecurity. The thinking in such a member could be, well, if the other guy gets it, I won't get anything. And if I get it, nobody else gets it. This mentality imagines that there is very little and one wins always at the cost of another. One gains putting another to loss. Abundance mentality says there is enough, there is plenty. You don't have to put somebody to trouble to fulfill your needs. You can fulfill needs of all by a little bit of creativity, a little bit of broad thinking, little bit of deeper insights. If you take a look at this Purnamadaha Purnamidam mantra, you find the fragrance of abundance mentality in this mantra. There is the whole, there is the totality, or replace the word Purna with the word plenty. There is plenty. Plenty over there, plenty over here. Do not think the West has plenty and the East is empty. No. Don't think the East is plenty and the West is empty. No. We have perhaps made a lot of ups and downs, imbalances. But in God's creation, even in the deserts of the Gulf or the Gulf countries, God gave or nature gave petrol and other petroleum products. There is plenty in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, Bahrain or Muscat, whatever. So there is plenty everywhere. Purnamadaha Purnamidam. There is plenty there, there is plenty here, there is plenty in the cities, there is plenty in the villages too. Never have a narrow thinking that to be in a village is to remain cursed forever, nor make the mistake that to live in a city is being sentenced to a terrible, sorrowful way of living. Anywhere and everywhere, if you tap the inner potential, you can make a difference to life around you. Now let's enter the mantras. Other day casually I was taking a look at the Ishavasya mantras. That's what prompted me to give this topic. I thought let me pick up a couple of ideas from maybe one or two mantras. Believe me, in every mantra I found management values. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithaha magrada kasyasvidhanam. For the present, leave aside the metaphysical interpretations, which are of course the ultimate teaching of the Upanishads, the supremacy of pure consciousness above body and mind, this entire universe being an expression of that one truth called Brahma. The Upanishads are therefore called Brahma Vidya. But now for this session of this webinar, what does the first mantra Ishavasimidam Sarvam have to give us in the context of values for management? Just take the last part, sirs, madams. You have Magradaha Kasyasvidhanam. Do not be greedy. After all, whose is wealth? To whom does wealth belong? This question that the Upanishad asks upon some contemplation can give to every executive or manager or businessman, owner of a company, anybody in any responsible position, a wonderful insight. Whose is this company? Whose is this wealth? Whose are all this equipment? Asks the Upanishad. And the wonderful insight is, as Mahatma Gandhi advised some businessmen on occasions, do not think of yourselves as the owners. Legally you are the owner, but in your heart, believe or think you are the trustees. This wealth, this property, this equipment, this skill, this talent, this gift, whatever it may be, belongs to all. I happen to be entrusted with it at this moment. This shift in attitude can make a big difference. You will find that if you look at yourselves as trustee and not the owner of any possession with you, you will have a great amount of unburdening, great amount of relaxation. But to shift in this way, the way we see things, is sometimes a bit difficult. Right away the second mantra says, whether you look at yourself as trustee or not, even if you are unable to get out of your idea of ownership, this is mine, I worked hard, I built it, every bit of it is mine. Suppose you have that, the Upanishad seems to say in the second mantra, never mind, go about your day's duties. While keeping this belief that everything is yours, fine, no problem, but do your duties in order to serve people. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet shatam samaha evam tvai nanyate tosti na karma lipyate nare. Karma na lipyate. We say work stresses us. We say work drives us nuts. We say work is causing so much a strain. Time is not enough. 24 hours are not enough. And our resources are not enough. Or we don't have the right team. That's the problem. We blame Tom, Dick and Harry. The Upanishad says, look, if you go about the matter, every work of yours, with an attitude of service, that seva buddhi is implied here in this mantra, then karma na lipyate. Your work will not stress you. Let me share with you a quick and short story. A teacher asked 10 of his students to go and take a photograph of people who are smiling. The teacher sent those 10 girls and boys to a large hall where some kind of conference was going on, some serious scientist conference or philosophers conference. The 10 girls and boys rushed towards the hall with their smartphones, mobiles, but then what they saw was the people participating in that conference were all so grim. Nobody was smiling. So believe me, 9 out of the 10 students came back and reported to the teacher. There is no one smiling there. I could not take a single picture of any smiling face. The 10th girl, the girl came with 4 to 5 pictures, all smiling, cheerful. The teacher asked the girl in front of the other 7 girls and boys, how could you get smiling faces to shoot? While your classmates, the 9 of them failed. The girl said, indeed, they are right. Nobody was smiling when we went. I too was about to give up. Then I planned something. I came upon a plan. I went with my mobile, went to a few people, and I smiled. I gave a broad, bright smile and said to each person there, hello auntie, how are you? How are you doing today? Hello uncle, you seem to be the most sought after speaker here in this conference. And the uncle and the aunt started smiling and said, ah beta, oh my child, my daughter, yes you are right. Young lady, you are right. We are enjoying this conference. And they started smiling. So when we smile, the world smiles back. Na karma lipyate nare. But some of us read all this, talk all this, and yet we remain so much in egocentric behavior. The third mantra of the Ishavasya says, those of us who continue to remain in I, me and mine, egoistic sphere of thinking and acting, they in fact are committing suicide. The expression Atmahano Janaha comes in the third mantra. Atmahan means one who kills oneself. Atmahano Janaha Asuryanama te loka andhena tamasavrataha taganste pretyabhigachanti yekecha Atmahano Janaha. So third mantra tells all managers, executives, leaders, parents, anyone in responsible position, give up this egoistic behavior, open up to sharing, to giving and taking. Don't just be the giver and refuse to take. Don't be just the taker and refuse to give. Be a giver and taker. So, each mantra seems to give us some insight. Go to the fourth mantra. It was some time back when I was interacting with some youngsters that this meaning suddenly struck me. The fourth mantra is apparently very mystical. Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainad deva apnuvan purvamarshad tadhavatonnyan atyeti tishtat tasminnapo matarishva dadati. You don't need the whole mantra. Take the third pada, quarter. Tad dhavataha anyan atyeti. This truth, if you translate literally, atyeti, overtakes. Atyeti means atikramyati, goes ahead. Whom does it overtake? Dhavataha anyan. There are many others apparently who are all running fast. But this truth overtakes all those who are running very fast. Tadhavatonnyan atyeti. There is one more word in the quarter. That is the beauty. Tishtat. Tishtat is a present participle which means without going anywhere. Tishtat means staying where you are. All of you know the story of Ganesha and Kartikeya. When the competition was set to go around the universe, Kartikeya shot off on his peacock. But Ganesha stayed where he was in Kailas, at the mountain. And after a little while, after eating maybe his breakfast fully, without leaving anything at all, slowly he gets up and just goes around Shiva and Parvati and says, I have gone around the universe because the universe is within you. That is the meaning, Tishtat. Staying where you are, Dhavataha Anyan Atyeti. I found this to be an inspiring insight into time management. Some of us have become Dhavataha, Dhavantaha. We run and run and run and again find we are behind. Because the mistake we do is, we are running and running but doing things which are not important, which are low priority, which are of some sort of urgency but have no importance really speaking. Then no matter how much we are running, we stay behind. If we adhere to truly important, may not be urgent, but truly important stuff, do it first, then we will be way ahead. Tishtata, staying at one place, meaning without sweating and without fretting or fuming. Who was that? Richard Carlson wrote that beautiful book, right? Very popular book. Don't sweat the small stuff. Then there was second line of the title of that popular book. First line was, don't sweat the small stuff. The second line goes, and it's all small stuff. You and I generally sweat. We get so, tired. Because we have been out of our ill-conceived attachments, out of our, misjudgments. Sometimes we are spending the whole day trying to help somebody and believing that, it's very important, I'm trying to help my son. Let the son talk to us or somebody talk to this son privately. Do you want your father's help? The son is likely to say, actually, I can do everything on my own. I don't know why my father is behind me. My father is not giving me the space. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time it is like that. A number of things that you and I do are not really necessary for us to do. Whereas, if we can identify what it is that is necessary, that is valuable, then attending to it, we can get way ahead. The same idea is expressed in another style by the fifth mantra, Tadejati, Tannaijati, Taddure, Tadvantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tadu Sarvasyasya Bhahyataha. Again, first it looks very, very metaphysical. My North Indian friends say, Namaste, Namaste, hum nahi samajhte. We don't understand this. Because the mantra proper, tade jati, tan nai jati, means it moves, it doesn't move. Tad dure, tadu antike means it is far, and to tell you the truth, it is very near. Tad antarasya sarvasya, it's inside all, and then tadu sarvasya bhahyataha, it is outside everything. I have a friend, Swami Anubhavananji. He comments on this mantra saying, the students got up and asked the Guru, who was explaining this mantra, Guruji, take 5 minutes and decide whether it moves or does not move, whether it is far or near, whether it is inside or outside. Don't make these contradictory statements. It's far and yet it's near, it's outside and yet it's inside. What's all this? Now, it looks mystical. But apply it to management. When you apply it to management, the whole understanding blossoms. You get a new flowering of understanding. It is all about opening up to both outer and inner dimensions of management. Both the insiders and outsiders we need to understand. Or within ourselves, a manager has to understand what's happening within himself and has to understand what is going on in his relationships, how others are looking at him. So, this is what is called holistic insight. If you see only inside and not outside, it's partial. If you see only outside and not inside, that's also partial. You keep an eye on outside and inside, on things that are far and things that are near, things that are long-term goals and things that are short-term goals, and so on. Then you are a holistic manager. We are talking about deriving holistic insights into management, drawing from heritage of India, Dhimahi. Then go further. A couple of mantras, I'll take 2 or 3 mantras more in this session. The very next, you have 6 and 7. The mantra 6 and 7 talk about seeing oneself in all and all in oneself. Yes, tu sarvani bhutani atmanyevānupashyati sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tato na vijugupsate yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanatah tatra ko moha kashokah ekatvam anupashyatah. Those of us who are all the time talking on Upanishads need to know full mantras. We need to know a lot of things. But any of you who may be in the world outside, in the world of earning and spending, saving and planning, managing relationships, assets, etc., etc., you don't have to know all the mantras. If you know all the mantras, we may go out of business. So it's better if you know only part of the mantras. It's our specialization. I say joking. If any of you learns, I have no problem. But in this mantra, please take just the last part. Ekatvam anupashyatah. If a business executive who is into management sees the oneness, ekatva. Oneness is also expressed sometimes as interrelatedness. The whole globe is one. The whole world is one. There came a book, right, some time back. The earth is flat. Thomas Friedman wrote that very popular book. The earth is flat. No more it is, some countries have an advantage and some others are totally at disadvantage. With the internet revolution, one could be working from anywhere, and now America is all the time a bit nervous about India or China rising, because with internet people are able to work from anywhere, and philosophically this points to a certain interrelatedness, that is ekatva. Interrelatedness not only in business or finance, but culturally, and psychologically and religiously or religion-wise, I should say, there is all interrelationship. Nobody can anymore confine oneself to one's own little group. There was a president of a religious center in some place in America. He was as president of the Hindu religious center, he was spending 30, 40 years. He worked so much for Hinduism, proud of Hinduism. He raised his children from early childhood, teaching them all mantra, shloka, puja. Finally, all his three children married Jewish, Christian and some other, Nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that father lost or anything. I'm saying the father would be devastated if he doesn't go by this understanding, ekatvam anupashyata. If the father who gave the best Hindu education to his children, he himself, his wife, herself being Hindu, reflects on ekatvam anupashyata, then he or she, the mother, will not have any heartburn. That's what Upanishad says. Tatra ko moha. You are a very good Hindu, wonderful, but don't have a moha that Hinduism alone has the truth. Tatra kas shokaha. Where is any grief? If your daughter-in-law is Jewish, why worry at all? In one day, in fact, she may take more interest in Vedanta or Hinduism than all your three children put together. Tatra ko moha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. So in business too, if we learn to look at somebody's victory with certain appreciation, we have lost. But don't look at they have won and we have lost, or another time we have won and they have lost, with some thick dividing lines. The dividing lines are not as thick as you imagine. There you go. Once you see their victory, indirectly or to an extent, is our victory. And our victory on another occasion, indirectly to an extent, is their victory. To say this victory is 100% theirs and we have 100% lost is narrow vision. So once we have broad perspectives, we are again at peace. Last but not the least, in fact, I must come to this mantra, for this mantra number 8 is regarded as the most revealing mantra in philosophical context. This mantra actually talks about the supreme truth. What is that? Let's start. After this ekatvam anupashyataha, just give me a moment. Kavir manishi paribhu swayambhu. That is how it starts. Open the 8th mantra. First word. First word. Start.
Kavir.
No. इसके पहले कुछ होगा. Saparyaga chukramakaayam avranam asnaviragam shuddhamapapaviddam. See, whether it is Bollywood songs or Upanishad mantra, you get the first word, then it goes. If you don't get the first word, then you scratch your head. So, saparyaga chukramakaayam avranam asnaviragam shuddhamapapaviddam kavir manishi paribhu swayambhuhu yata tatyatorthan vyadadat shashvatibhyah samabhyah. Leave aside the lofty interpretations of Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya and all that. For you and me, with certain responsibilities in our workplace or at home or in some social organization, what this whole mantra means is the supreme truth, which is all pervasive. Pari agat, it goes all over, it's all pervasive. Shukram, it is pure, white, radiant, bright. And Kavi, it's supremely intelligent. Manishi, it's all knowing. So, One of the interpretations of this mantra is as simple as this. Every one of us, though at a given point of time appear to be dull and laid back or running short of some resources, deep inside us are supremely intelligent. I will conclude saying, Upanishads say to every one of us, deep inside you, you have, and what is more, you are tremendous intelligence. You can discover it. And once you discover that supreme intelligence, no matter you have wealth or otherwise, physical health or otherwise, no matter you are old or young, irrespective of all these things, that liberating intelligence in you helps you make the best of any situation. That is all what management is about in a given situation. What is the best? Find out and do. Do the best, leave the rest, said Swami Chinmayananda. Let me pause here and welcome questions and comments. Hari Om. Namaste.
This discourse is very nice, Swamiji.
Thank you. And how about a question from Manmohan Pejawar? He is normally the opening batsman.
Yes, sometimes I feel, thank you Swamiji, sometimes I feel I ask too many questions. I have been criticized for it by my wife.
So today you can ask the question, why do I ask so many questions?
Anyway, when I was listening to today's lecture, having been retired, I was constantly thinking how I can apply in everyday life, not in a work situation, but in a way we are in a certain environment where we have to perform. So I was kind of drawing a parallel to that. And some of these concepts like having real insight into yourself, I thought was really useful. Whatever you do, you don't do for somebody else's sake or how others are looking at us. That may be only partially important. But also what it means to you internally and, take that clue from within. I think that, so I was, in every mantra I was trying to draw that kind of parallel for everyday living. And even everyday living, you still have to have some business matters to take care of. So I thought that was useful. Just an input. Thank you, Swamiji.
Wonderful.
I really enjoyed the lecture today.
You have expressed your feedback very clearly. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes, right here in Pune, where I am speaking, we have Commander Bijur. He has a question. I will repeat your question for their benefit.
Swamiji, what you suggested here is really what the business today looks for. We call it win-win situation.
Yes, win-win situation.
Yes. But what happens is it is there in everyone's mind, all managers' mind, but then they are unable to see the whole picture. Most of the time, win-win situation remains in their mind, but the whole picture never emerges in front of them.
Correct.
So, what could be the kind of remedy for that?
That's a very practical question. I think I am able to relate to what you are saying. All of us, Shri Bijur has said that a lot of managers know this kind of outlook, which I brought out in my talk, and today's management literature calls it win-win approach. And he says that though we know win-win approach, we are generally not able to see the whole picture, and therefore how to go about the win-win is not clear. I would say this way, that true, we are not able to really see the whole picture and come upon a truly wonderful win-win solution. But my submission is, whenever I have attempted it, I have seen that if we try to find a win-win approach, win-win solution, we are generally successful in finding certain at least short-term and some gestures at least. For example, we have a bitter competition with some other company, let us say, and we don't know because we find other side doesn't understand us at all. The least we can do is, rather than tit for tat, hitting back or mudslinging at each other and all those things, we can sincerely and honestly appreciate certain plus points in them and request, not demand, their side to acknowledge some of our contributions. So what we meant is we can go about a certain reconciliation effort with goodwill. Once I came across a couple, husband and wife, who were having a lot of arguments, and both of them said we totally disagree on certain issues. And win-win is very difficult because I don't agree with her and she said she doesn't agree with him. Then we sat together and then we found that one thing that they could do is at least, okay, let them keep their opinions, let them not go together in solving something, but at least in conversations, let them not raise their voice so much. In their talking to friend circle, social circle, etc., let them not blame the other person. Let them accept the situation. There are some serious differences, but we will keep a distance with each other, whatever. So my submission is win-win. Taking us way ahead may be difficult, but certain short time victories are possible. So like Eknath Ishwaran would say, small victories lead to big victories. Perhaps tentatively we will have to go for it. Otherwise I fully agree. At a given point of time, our intelligence is a bit limited. We don't deny or we don't dare contradict or oppose the Upanishadic Rishi's wisdom. Perhaps we are supreme intelligence, but right now we feel that we are very limited. So with that, some small victories are possible, I think. I don't see any other hand again, but